And we're back here once again with another episode of the MSK show, and this is going to be episode 254. So I hope you guys had a great day, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your week that is ahead of you. And in this episode of the MSK show, we will be doing a topic just in a little bit after we have our usual guy bro conversation that you guys, know and love, and you always enjoy those conversations. This is a topic that I actually never thought that would ever actually happen, but Marvel Comics is so desperate right now for people to actually read their comics. They actually went and did something that was actually just based off a meme and was just actually just based off of people just, discussions on like race swapping and gender swapping and all that nonsense, right? So we'll get into that later on. And yeah, what's in the title of this episode of the MSK show is actually true. They actually went and did it. It's crazy. I will give them their fair handshake. They actually did it. That is a handshake right there. But in the first Predator movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger and that I forgot the black guy, blanking on his name right now.
Carl Weathers.
Yeah, when they did the handshake. Okay. Oh, okay, Marvel, you did the joke. I get you. I get it.
But the funny part is I'm just gonna say, like, in the comics, like, T'Challa's usually like a darker black. You know what I mean? Like, he's like African black. I don't know if it's the one. There's a woman in the comic. I don't know if that's the mom or not, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like the way they drew Ketaba, it's just like some blonde-haired Chad. It's just so funny. It's just so stupid.
They finally did it.
Dude, the people are... Dude, I was reading so much stuff where there was so much cope. People were smoking copium like nothing I've ever seen. People were like, "Oh, dude, it's not even in the main universe." I'm like, "No, it is. It's 616. It's just the Marvel
That's how you
Knights.
know right there. You're talking to a tourist. And this is how much you know Marvel Comics has not been advertising their new lines. People that are in the know of comic books know about the newest Ultimate Universe that they relaunched with Ultimate Spider-Man at the beginning part of 2024. But the fact that people in some of the comments, and people are going to factor in, there's a lot of those comments that I read on Reddit. Oh, that's in the alternate timeline. No, the alternate timeline is where it's called Ultimate Black Panther. That's not what that was.
That's not even a timeline. That's just a different universe.
Yeah, it's not even the same universe. Like, guys, this is what I've always told people. Do not believe what these companies are telling you. All this inclusion, racial war nonsense they speak about on Twitter. And keep in mind, it's always a social media manager they're hiring to
for
see these
sure.
things anyway.
For
I tell people, stop believing them. They don't care. It's like, not to make it political, but it's like when Democrats would always try to get the black vote, and they would just use like emotional angles to do that. Yeah, they don't actually care about you. They just said those things just to garner emotional sympathy out of you. All it is.
If they didn't think people were going to talk about this or get their name out there as like the absolutes and stuff like that are crushing it right now for DC, they would have done this how many years ago? You know what I'm saying? Like, the funniest part is the people that are like calling for like Marvel's head right now. It's just so funny. It's like, oh, how the shoe is on the other foot. Like, it's so hilarious. Oh, you don't want him to be race baited? Oh, I see. It's only whenever it's a person of color. I hate saying that. Like, we're all colors, people. Like, the fuck. I hate that saying. Like, it's just so stupid.
I hate the one where it's the minorities. I don't know what's worse.
That's so dumb
or minorities. I don't know which one's worse, but both of them are so cringe. It's like when women were saying the term like mansplaining, and I'm like, oh my! Any woman that ever said that, I instantly tune whatever the fuck they said out.
Instantly tune it out. I know what you're saying. Yes.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I look at it as that we're all Americans as long as you're here. You know, and at one time we were all very poor, so it's more of a class warfare than it is, in my opinion. People make it about race. You know, the agenda drives what people are mimicking. So it's kind of hard to, if you don't want to fucking deal with it, then don't fucking talk about it. Just shut up.
Did you ever read like a little bit of that Communist Manifesto that came out a long time ago? I know there's one point in it that's always stuck. that actually makes sense. It's crazy. It's like the way that you cause a divide amongst people in the book is one of the points people make out of it. I haven't read it myself, but I remember I did some like AI overview of it, like typed in.
It doesn't matter. I mean, I know a lot of people that have read stuff like that.
Yeah. One of the biggest points I'm pretty sure you would know is that how do you get people to cause a divide amongst each other? It's a racial war. Because yeah, that's like the number one thing communists always utilize when they're trying to basically get a law, bill, or that stuff passed to basically kind of like divide people. It's like you always got to cause a racial war. And I've always thought about that too. Why is that every single problem that it is boiled down to just, oh, it's just a black guy didn't like a white guy or vice versa, or a Mexican or black. So I'm like,
yeah, it's like, never just a guy or
it's never just like, I mean, this guy just looked at him wrong. Maybe mad dogged him,
but they always have to point out like it was a black man who did this to a Chinese man, and you're just like, why couldn't it just be a guy fucked up another dude?
Yeah,
like I don't know. It's like until that plateau is stepped across, you know, it's gonna be the same.
Yeah,
I could be honest. Like when I was a kid, I'm sure there, you know, I always say this: there are definitely racists in the world. Of course there is.
Because you were born in the 70s, right? So that's like a little bit after segregation, essentially.
I was too young.
Yeah. So the world basically just came out of segregation right when you were like alive.
But like where I was, there was less white kids in my class, and it wasn't. It was just mixed everything: Indian, black, Asian. Like it was, you know, inner city. And it was like, we never, at least in school, like when I was young, I never thought of it differently. Like I just, when we moved, when I was about 8 or 9, when we moved to the Pittsburgh, West Virginia area, that's when I noticed a difference, because it was all white kids. And I was just like, whoa, this is like kind of, that's when I actually noticed, because I was like, oh damn, there's like no other people here. It's just all white people. I was like, that's kind of weird, because I just never, you know, was around that. So, and I mean, I don't know, kids nowadays, I mean, like my kid in his class, he never comes home and says like, oh, the black kid. He just says, oh, the name, like Gary or John or whatever. It's never. So I don't know. It's got to be taught.
It's also upbringing and it being taught too.
Right, taught too. That's what I mean. It's got to be taught.
The thing is, I do and don't do this with a lot of people. It really just depends on which time period they grew up in. So like, I know people out there watch the Whatever podcast. I can understand. I don't agree with the girls when they talk, but I can understand why you would have that mindset if you grew up in that household, or households that think like that, talk like that, and always say those certain things to you. Then you go to a school, they reinforce those beliefs. Then you go to a college that reinforce those beliefs. Then you date men that reinforce those beliefs. I understand why women in that demographic would talk like that, because when they grew up, they don't know any better. If that's all taught to them and they're not shown like different ways of living, different ways of how people interact with each other, a bunch of different things. But you do have to fault them at a certain point when you yourself don't actually go out of your way to see another perspective and go, okay, why are they thinking this way?
Right.
You know,
exactly.
Like, I can't blame a 15-year-old girl for being like thinking that, okay, feminism is the best thing. It's like she doesn't know any better.
Well, that, and if that's what she sees and that's what her parents, you know, there's two types of parenting. There's the one where your children take on your beliefs, and then there's the second type of parenting where it's like they say, oh, we got to let them find out for themselves, and it's like, no. Or
like you'll hear the college girls, they'll be like, well, when I grew up like in a conservative household, and then when they say they go into college, they became more progressive. Well, that's because they weren't shown what the other mindset was.
Right. It's more like you're rebelling against what you were taught. Like,
or you think there was always some like
strict conservatism. I can understand that, like, and rebelling against it. But like, if you're not guiding your kids, then like, what is the point of being a parent? Like, if you have to let them figure shit out for themselves all the time, then there's really no point. Now, at a certain point when they start developing their own thoughts, like, and opinions on things, that's when you need to talk to them the most. To kind of like gauge where they're at and see what they're kind of thinking, you know. And that's like, at least for me, that's kind of what I did. I was just like, hey, what do you think about this, or what do
Yeah.
you think about that? And they would tell me, and I'd be like, if I thought it was getting into the dangerous realm, I'd have to like sit them down and explain certain things, but I really never had to do that. So I
Yeah.
definitely think it's something that's taught.
Well, I'm pretty sure you grew up and you heard this, like a saying for parents that were like, so some parents just have other people raise them. I mean, like, and not even raising as far as like the day to day. Like, I understand being a kid and your parents tell you something and you don't listen because they're your parents, and you just kind of
Mhm.
just have there's a certain dynamic you have with a parent versus like a random stranger you meet like every once in a while. So like church, or if they do like certain activities, sometimes kids are more likely to listen to that stranger than
For
you,
sure.
which is weird.
Mhm.
Guys, it's like when you go get your hair done, like women get their hair done, women will start just telling their hairstylist everything, but they won't tell that to their husband, which I find very weird. Why is that they value the stranger? They'll confide in them versus like the person that apparently like
Well,
loves them, which is weird, you know?
I mean, I think sometimes it depends on if it's something that you're ashamed about, where you might not say it out loud that you're ashamed, but it's in human nature to want to get things off your chest.
Mhm.
Bottling stuff up inside, I mean, there are definitely people who do that. Obviously,
Mhm.
people have seen it. But if you ever notice, they're usually the ones that are like the least happy overall in life. Like if I wrong someone, I want to be like, hey, if I offended you or if I did something, let's hash this out.
Yeah.
Let's get this done and out of the way. That way, there's no weirdness between us. Now, if you end up afterwards saying, "Hey, I don't want to be around you or like you," I'll respect it. But at least there's nothing going forward. I don't know. I look at those type of situations and I'm just like, I try to steer clear of it. That's kind of like when we first started doing these shows, and you would talk about certain things, and I would just like kind of nod
That's
and
what
be
I do
like,
when women. That's
okay.
what women do when they talk to me. They just nod and say I'm crazy. So you're doing it. That's why I'm striking out with women. You've caught on at this point. Godly. I learned this from Two and a Half Men. It was in season 1, episode where Alan talks to Charlie, and Charlie's like, "Hey, Alan. Sometimes when we're talking, I'm not even listening. I'm not even paying attention. I just saying I understand." And I learned that throughout. Sometimes in life, you just gotta just say I understand and nod your head up and down. Because sometimes, and this is what I even said to people in our group chat, we're having a long conversation about women and men and all that stuff in communication. It's like, I'm not saying that you shouldn't listen to someone when they're confiding in you. None of that. What I'm saying is the average person will, especially if you're a guy, because we know how men's mental health works with how people view it, people will not care. Like, there's friends of mine that tell me stuff, and it's not like I don't care. I'm not a fucking asshole, but it's like I can't do anything about it. Like, how about we in life try let's work on a solution of something versus like, hey, if there's a possible way of working a solution. I'm not saying something there just isn't. Like, we were talking about depression, right? And I was like, people should kind of analyze why they're sad about something. Or are you sad, or are you just kind of upset or not feeling good about how a certain situation is going? So you're saying you're depressed when you're not really depressed. It's normal part of our emotional spectrum to go from being happy to being sad sometimes. It's how we process
Well,
our emotions, you know?
also, people, the way that the world is, everything has to be labeled. Everything does.
Yeah.
You have to fit. If you feel any different than, say, that person that's out there smiling all the time, you have to find out why. And what box do I fit in? Where am I? And all that. It's just like, damn,
Happens with
dude.
Superman. Superman is the number one character where people are like, how is he always happy? Like blah 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 blah. And it's like, people don't understand. Just because you can't comprehend something just doesn't mean there's something wrong with that person. I mean, I don't know where that comes from. It's like it happens with Superman a lot. It happens with like I remember I was reading some comments like under this James Gunn post about Superman, and this person, I won't name, he knows who I am. I don't want to name him. He's a piece of garbage. He was like, yeah, that's why I can't relate to Superman. He's always in comics punching reality. Yes, because in every single comic, Superman is punching reality and doing some crazy massive feat. People forget Superman only did those feats. I'm not say once in a while, but there were like many, 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 many comics spread out when he was doing those. People know the moment he's sneezed the whole universe away. Do you think it was happening in every book? No, where does
Dude,
that even come
that's
from?
like old shit though.
Yeah,
It's
that's
like
from, like, what?
so
Bron
old.
Silver Age comics. I'm pretty sure it
It
was in the
might even
70s.
be the golden age, man.
Yeah, like, hey, I get it. Superman's feats are more different now, but people like when people say certain things about Superman, you just go like, "Why is he not relatable?" Well, because he can never lose. That's not true. There's a famous book where he literally loses called Death of Superman, where he's killed.
I
He
mean,
clearly loses.
it's see, like I've always people just don't understand Superman. Superman is built the construct of Superman is built
It's
to
built
punch
different. It's
to punch any problem away. He is built to punch the problem. How you get Superman is how you deal on the emotional level of Superman.
right. Yeah.
He's an emotional character. You're supposed to have an emotional attachment to that character. That is how you get Superman. Of course, you can't relate to Superman. No, you on a regular level, nobody can relate to
And
Superman.
you're not
Do you
supposed
have it
to.
in
That's the
you
thing.
to
Yeah.
always do the right thing? That's it's something to look up to. It's not that, oh, I can't relate to him because he never loses. Okay. All right.
And
That's
that's
not
supposed to
what
be the
I'm relating to.
yeah, and that's the thing I was going to talk on to
How
your
many
point, which
times
is
has he
Mhm.
lost in life? How many years did it take him
Yeah.
to get Lois Lane? How many times has he lost Lois? How many times has, like things with his child happened? Like a lot of there's tons of
Yeah.
things that you could go off of that are everyday human interactions. You have
Yeah.
basically a god who is jealous of humans because
Mhm.
he strives to be the best human possible,
Mhm.
and he has these gifts and he has to do the right thing no matter what. How would you in the face of obstinate hatred and everything, would you be able to do the right thing all the time? I don't know. I doubt I would.
And that's where the not you, but that's where the projection comes from out of people. I think the reason why people say certain things like that is because they're projecting onto the actual character itself.
Mhm.
Now, I understand there's runs of any popular character, Batman, Superman,
Oh, sure.
Spider-Man,
There's
X-Men,
runs
Hulk.
that
Yeah.
suck.
Yeah.
That suck.
Yeah.
Trust me. Yeah,
It's
for
just
sure.
this thing where like it happens with Goku, happens with a lot of characters. People literally project their own life onto the characters, and they say certain things that you brought up, which is a common narrative. Like I can't
Mhm.
relate to Superman, but that's the thing in and of itself that that doesn't click in their head. You're not supposed to. He's an alien from another planet who was destroyed before he was even born. He never even got a chance to even look at what his planet was functioning like. He was sent to Earth before it was ever destroyed. His all he knows is Earth. That's it. You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Like you're not supposed to relate to a guy that can
He's
shoot
an
laser beams out of his
alien
eyes.
with no real home, even though the home he grew up on isn't his own.
Yeah.
And it's like he had regular parents. Like, how many times have we seen when Superman has a massive problem if he's not at the Fortress of Solitude? He
Goes
goes
to
back
his
to Smallville,
That's
talks to
true.
his mom and dad,
Yep.
just like every single person who has that construct
Yeah.
of when it was like super popular back in like the 50s and 60s. You had the American household, stuff like that.
Mhm.
To find him unrelatable is as a overall arc of the character, yes, it's very unrelatable, but I don't know. I relate
There's
to him. It
relatable
just
attributes to him.
yeah, there's
Like
tons
you
of
said,
relatable stuff.
kindness, optimism, hopeful. He wants better for humanity. He's an
Yeah,
upstanding
he
citizen. He
just does
works.
the right thing no matter what.
Yeah.
You can always look to Superman to do the right thing. And here's the thing, if doing the right thing is boring and stupid, then I'm boring and stupid.
That must mean that person that's saying that is got some huge conflicts going on.
Because doing the right thing got me to where I am now in a situation that I was not doing very well in life.
Yeah, like that's when I came to respect the character even more. That's when people kept saying these certain things, and I was like, "What are you looking at?" Like maybe if you only just watched Man of Steel, maybe you probably think that. Because I mean, if you're a person growing up, and you grew up in a different time, grew up in the generation that I'm before. If the only Superman you know is Man of Steel, I could perfectly understand why you would think that way. That's the only thing you've been exposed to. I would just say this: probably expand your Superman horizons. Go watch different media he's been a part of. There's plenty of
I just
animated
say
movies.
read the books.
There's
Read the
always the
books.
books. There's all that stuff there. You know,
Read the
because
books.
you remember how when I will say this, Zack Snyder did something to people. Remember how a bunch of the people that commented on Man of Steel, they were like, "Hey, I never really liked Superman until Zack Snyder did it." Well, okay, it's like, but You ask them why, and people they're like, he was boring. Boring how? Then they'll explain, well, I can't relate to him and all these other things, and it's like, Zack Snyder didn't even make him relatable in that movie anyway. He made what kind of kid has super speed and lets his dad die, his adopted dad die? It's just like that's not
Well, I mean, his
relatable.
dad told him not to.
Yeah. If my
that
mom
was
was
just
still,
that was just bad writing.
yeah, like if your son was Clark and your son seriously would come in there and save you, even if you told him not to do it, they would do it because that's what any good kid would do.
I think it's. I mean, I get why they did it, but it's still just kind of stupid.
You just can't believe Clark would do that. I just can't believe he would
Right,
let his adopted dad die. I just can't believe it.
I wouldn't even say adopted dad. That's his dad. It's the only dad he's ever known.
Yes, yeah.
I mean, blood. Trust me, man. Blood don't mean nothing.
Oh, I know that for sure. You don't got to tell me that, man.
Yeah, it don't mean anything.
Yeah, just because someone's related to you blood-wise doesn't mean they are more family to you than someone that you not blood related to. Yeah,
trust me, there's some blood family that has done me some wrong.
The one thing about Superman that always throws me off people is when they say that he's a Christ figure. I'm people don't understand. This is how you know you were talking to Taurus. Superman's creators, guys, were Jewish. They do not believe Jesus was the Messiah. Not going like religion, but that is what they believe. I'm not saying I hate Jewish people. I like Jewish people. But they don't believe Christ is a Messiah. Just that. So I don't know why he gets seen as a Christ figure when the creators are Jewish and they didn't.
Just because the creators are Jewish doesn't mean he doesn't have an 80-year history where they have done a lot of Christ.
It did some Christ similar things, yeah.
They have. It doesn't like
if you could ask Gary
the character was no way. Yes, but the character's creation, no, it was not based on.
I don't know where that comes from. It's because of the death of Superman. It's because he died in return. I get it.
I mean, there's a lot of things that it comes from. I mean, there's the freaking Man of Steel has that in it when he's, basically.
Whoa, the Snyder Cut. Remember he got the black suit and he was doing this? Oh my God.
Like there's a lot of comics that have the allegories to that.
Too many allegories.
Where other countries and stuff see him as that. But I mean, it's another thing where it has to be labeled. It's got to be put in that box.
Yeah. I've never seen him as a Christ figure ever. I don't know where people got that from.
I mean, I do. I can see where people got it from. I just think they're wrong.
Yeah.
That's all.
I mean, it's better than the X-Men one where apparently X-Men are like for like marginalized.
No, I don't want to hear that. That is, dude. When that's actually one of the reasons why I started on my channel like a while ago, started reviewing all the old X-Men. Because when I kept hearing that, like that Professor X was the Martin Luther King and Magneto, it was Malcolm X, and I'm like, no, dude. That is no way. I don't give a fuck what Stan Lee said 30 years later. That shit is so not true.
Even though when he originally was interviewed and asked, he created them that way because he didn't want to do origin stories. That's what he originally said. That's what he said. Basically, I don't want to create origin stories. So I just made them that way, which is fine. Like, not everything has to be this like deep, integral thought of when a character was made. I mean,
dude, if you read X-Men number 3.
The original X-Men 3.
The original X-Men number 3. There's literally a scene where they're fighting the Blob, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's a scene where Jean Grey, she's like the new member, right? And all the guys are like fawning over her, like whoever gets dressed first gets to ride with Jean, like all this. And they're like going off on this dangerous mission, and fucking Professor X is like lighting a cigar or lighting a pipe, and he's like thinking in his head, he was like, how could I send the woman that I love? Like, and I'm like, she's like 16 in this fucking thing. Like, what the fuck?
So we will get to that right now. So Last Comic Fan wasn't here last week, and you guys know why. He even told you in the comment section of some of the episodes of the MSK show. He essentially had a Bane Batman situation. You guys know what that is.
I didn't. Yeah. No one picked me up and broke my back, dude.
But the breaking back part did happen, though.
I mean, it's a vertebrae in my back. Yes.
I thought you were going to be out for 2 weeks, so I accidentally may have scheduled people for this exact time frame, and then I had to reschedule them down the road. I think you're gonna be out for a couple weeks. You hurt
No,
your
I
back.
mean, I
How did you
I'm
fall? What
very.
happened?
I didn't fall.
So
Where are you? Why?
your wife kicked you down the stairs. That's what
No,
happened.
dude. Like, I. This is an injury that I've had. My back is always like stuff is always hurt. Like, and I
Okay.
never knew why, because I
Mhm.
never got it X-rayed or anything like that. Well, what happened is my mom last like a week and a half ago, she fell like and smashed her face on the ground, like couldn't
Ooh.
stop herself or nothing. And she's like 80. And I had to pick her up and she was like dead weight, right? She was just like couldn't move, nothing. She had blood coming out everywhere. She ended up going to the hospital. Well, when I picked her up and I had to put her on the couch, I don't know, something in my back you just heard it sounded like crinkling paper. It's just like and I was like, "Huh, that's not good." Right? And it
Hmm.
was fine. It was fine. And I did other stuff. I like brought cases of water in, my normal thing. Well, I woke up in the middle of the night and my fucking right leg, it felt like it was on fire. It felt like someone was like jabbing me in the freaking thigh with a freaking hot poker. And I was like, what the fuck? Right. And I had fallen a couple of times, like doing stupid stuff. And when they x-rayed me, he was like, the doctor was like, hey, this is like really old. Like you like crushed your vertebrae. And how long ago did this happen? And I'm like, I don't even know what you're talking about. And he was like, this injury is old because it's already starting to heal over. And pieces of the vertebrae were going into my sciatic nerve, like just the little shard, they were touching it, and that's apparently very sensitive, and it runs along your back, your ass, and then your leg.
Ew.
So like my right leg right now, like the shin from about like the bottom of my kneecap to about halfway down my leg is like numb. It's like weird. Like I could somewhat feel stuff, but not really. And like trying to walk up the steps, like if I try to walk up the steps, I can't push off with my right leg at all. It just gives out. And like I was doing all that stuff and I went to the hospital, got checked out, and they gave me a bunch of pain medication. Well, I couldn't take that because that wouldn't be good for me. So they gave me muscle relaxers though, non-addictive muscle relaxers, and those helped a little bit, but not really. So I gotta go tomorrow and see what they could do. They said there's like a surgery that they can do. It's like a scope, and they can suck all the like particles out,
That's good.
which will help. So
So when they do that, because I don't know if you asked them this as a follow question,
mhm.
how long would that keep you out of work though?
Oh no, just like dude, the way surgeries work now, bro. Unless like you're like really really laid up or something. Like my mom got a knee replacement. I don't know if you've ever watched a knee replacement surgery.
They're disgusting.
They basically take your fucking leg off
It's gross. Oh
and
god.
then
Yep.
put like, and they let you leave that day. You are not in the hospital for any time at all. Period.
Yeah. We've had some nice huge medical advancements in these last
Yeah.
10
So
years.
like
It's
he
really good.
said, like I would be in there depending on what time it was. If it was
Mhm.
later at night or whatever, I would only be there till it's done. And then I come out of anesthesia and then they watch you for like a 6-hour period.
Okay, that's
And they
good.
give you like a test and all this stuff. So if I get it done on a Friday, I'll be good to
I
go
would
for
imagine you have a
work and
bunch of
stuff.
vacation time already stored up at work anyway.
I do have vacation time and sick leave.
God, I forgot you have a government affiliated contract job, so I'm pretty sure there's some months on there with the vacation time.
I think right now I probably have like 15 days and then I probably have about 10 sick days. So I probably have like
Okay.
25 days I could take.
Good lord. And that, I mean, to be fair, as you said before, I don't know how long it's gonna take you to recover after surgery. You said it's not gonna be
I'll
that
be fine.
bad.
I'll be
Okay.
fine. I've had worse surgeries, dude. My left ankle. So this is a good one. I used to rollerblade and I was like really good. And I don't know if you've ever heard of the Vans Warp Tour. It's like a concert where like punk music, they would go around the United States and play. Well, they had like these skating ramps, like half pipes, quarter pipes, and skate parks and stuff. And I used to do some of the half pipe verting. And I was on trick blades, which only have like 2 wheels because the middles came out so you can grind stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I went up this half pipe and I took it really far, like came across it, and I was doing a backflip. And when I backflipped and I looked down, there was no half pipe under me. It was just I went way too far to the left, overshot it. And that's like, 25 feet in the air. And when I landed, I didn't know what to do. Like I wanted to land on my side, but I was so straight up from doing the flip. And I'm like, shit. And I landed my left leg, my ankle. If like this is my foot, right? My leg went and folded in on itself. My heel was touching my calf muscle. Like if you just fold it in half, and the bone shot out of my foot, the bottom of my foot. And it was some of the worst pain I've ever felt in my life. And the worst part was getting to the hospital was terrible because there was all these people everywhere because it was a concert. And thankfully the skateboarder people, they sat me on a skateboard and I had to like do this on the ground to like get to the freaking ambulance.
Oh my God.
And
then
when
I imagine when the ambulance come, do they have to pick you up and put you on the stretcher? That probably hurt like
no,
hell.
what happened was I got into the back and I had to push myself up. They did not want to move my leg. They had to hold my leg because it was still in the rollerblade boot. It snapped the rollerblade boot in half. So they had to cut it. They had to cut it off because there was bone coming out. And it was weird. Like,
God.
I thought it was going to be really bloody. But what was weird is like this watery liquid was coming out. And I was like, what the hell? And then it started bleeding. When it hurt the worst is whenever he set it. Whenever he got all the stuff off and he set my foot, that I passed out. And then they shot me up full of stuff and then they did the surgery. That sucked. That was my left ankle looks so weird compared to my right one. It looks it looks like I'm wearing like an ankle weight.
Just saying,
it's so big and weird.
You would not be Batman anymore. You would have had to hang up the cowl a long time ago.
Surprisingly, here's the funny thing. Surprisingly, I can move
play basketball
pretty well.
At that point,
I can move pretty well. Surprisingly, I healed up very well, and now I'm not like swift or fast anymore. I used to be pretty fast, but not really anymore. But I could still play basketball. I could still do stuff. It's just afterwards it would hurt a lot. It would hurt the next day. The next day was always terrible.
Oh my goodness.
I can't imagine what this is going to be like the next day because I do like at some point want to. Usually in the summertime I'd be outside a lot shooting basketball.
Yeah.
In my driveway, but I can't really do that right now. So
essentially, you are broken in half, but it's okay. I can heal you. I can heal you, man.
No,
I'm a medical ninjutsu. I'm like better than Tsunade. Come on, man.
No, thank you, sir. If I saw someone, if I was like half dosed up waiting for my surgery and that hair appeared over me, I'd be like, new doctor, please.
Oh, God. Oh, so what was the other thing that ended up coming up this week? Oh, my gosh. There was something you wanted to also go over besides the white Black Panther thing. There was something else you had mentioned. What was that? Before we get to the topic, I think there's another thing I know you mentioned. I just forgot about it.
What did I? Oh, I did read. I am up to date on the We Are Yesterday.
Oh, yeah, the world's finest.
I'm up to date on that. Yep. I read all 5. Well, there's another part to come up, but there's 5 out so far, and I was surprised. The actual event itself is actually not bad. It's not bad. It's not awful.
Because Mark Waid is writing it. Is it better than Absolute Power?
Oh, yeah, it's way better than Absolute Power.
Okay.
It's way better than that. Like, so basically, Gorilla Grodd gets Martian Manhunter's powers, right? Because all the powers were set. Remember, they all like he gets his powers. So he figures out a way to go back in time, right? Because he figures out how to get into where Darkseid the Rift was. And if you haven't been reading. Thank God I read like Challengers of the Unknown, and I read the Justice League Atom Project, which both deal a lot with the dark side stuff. So he went back in time to get the Legion of Doom, like Lex Luthor, those people that were at their pinnacle as opposed to where they are in our world, which are just a bunch of fucking morons, that are basically decommissioned. And he wanted to take that same thing, that all the energy that was being used to open those rifts, and he wanted to harness that energy. And what's cool is whenever they go through the different eras, different people start disappearing and getting put into different eras. So like young Robin, Dick Grayson Robin appears, he like disappears in the past, but our Batman of today on the Watchtower thinks that Dick has been gone for all this time, but Nightwing is there. So they don't understand why Nightwing is there. And then Robin just reappears. And it's like, you'd have to read it. It's actually pretty
Sounds
well
a lot more
done.
interesting than I
It's
thought
actually
initially.
not that bad. It's actually not that bad, and I liked it. And because all the characters get something to do, they all have like their little story of what they want to do, and like
that was
where
my
they're
problem with
coming
Absolute
from.
Power. It's like it's not like I didn't like it. I thought it was fine, but it was like
it was whatever. I mean, we
enough of the
reviewed it. It was
characters.
fine.
But enough of the characters, at least some of the other bigger ones they're trying to sell you on, they didn't really have much to do. If you're just reading that from the 4 issues that we got, it felt like it was just kind of like not even a Batman show. Batman was even kind of sidelined after the first part of it. It felt like the character imbalance was just too big, honestly. But that's what happens when you have an event of that magnitude. Also, we need to get last the Night Terrors Omnibus.
No, we don't.
Why can't we crowdfund it? Crowdfund.
No.
Dang
Please
it.
don't. Please don't do that.
You can use it as a brick if someone ever breaks in your house.
Yeah, but if people actually bought that for me, I'd have to review it.
It's 1,500 pages.
1,500 pages where there's like 2 good stories in it, and one of them we already read.
So
the Jeremy Adams Green Lantern one. We already read the good one. I don't want to read like 1,480 pages of shit.
Oh God! Oh my! Could you imagine Night Terror's Joker? Oh my God, Joker! What does he imagine himself?
I read it.
What did he imagine himself as? A good person?
He was like he worked in like a 9-to-5 office.
That's what happened in the White Knight story. Jack Napier it's the same shit. What the hell?
So I was surprised that this was actually the Atom Project. This was actually not that bad. It was actually, they deal a lot. It's funny that they don't tell you this, and I went and looked back. So I have like, except for like Zatanna, Wonder Woman, a couple of like that, weird like Black Canary, all that stuff. I have most of the all-in, like all the single issues, most of the major ones. And I'm still looking in the books to where it says like, hey, if you want to see what happened more with like Darkseid and where he went to and what blah, 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 read this. I can't find that shit anywhere. So like when I was reading the We Are Yesterday event, they started talking about the stuff that the Atom Project was finding. And I was like, oh, that's stuff I wanted to know about. So I had to go out and buy these. And I'm like, God damn it, dude. Like, they need to cut down on the amount of books that they make and just make better books.
Yeah.
Why does Wonder Woman still have a goddamn series? I can understand Absolute Wonder Woman, but like, dude, I read a few issues of All In Wonder Woman.
Tom King's run? Yeah.
I mean, Tom King is definitely suited, I think, to write female characters because his Supergirl is not as bad as people say it is.
Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. I've heard out of everything he's ever written, it's actually good.
And the Wonder Woman he's writing is not nowhere near as bad as I thought it would be. Put it that way.
Are you saying that he's more of a woman than a man?
No, I said I think he writes better for women than he does for dudes. Oh, okay.
Remember the Cat Williams episode where he was like Tyler Perry and fucking he said that they act more like women than men anyway. Like Tyler, it's not Tyler. Oh my God, what am I saying? Fucking hell. I know you heard recently, because it just came out yesterday, that Warner Brothers is splitting up into two companies. Maybe finally someone can take over the comics division part of it and actually go like, hey, why are we producing 50 books that no one's reading? Because people probably only reading like 10 of these. Let's cut down these lines. Like, there's no reason why Marvel and DC should be. Marvel puts out like 80 books a month.
I know,
Who's
it's
reading
ridiculous.
all that?
I
Not
did
even.
pick up the Amazing
I have
Spider-Man,
those
the
too.
new run.
Yeah.
I did pick up the first 5 of those. So because I haven't read, I have all the Ultimate Spider-Mans, right? Like I have the first 2 trades, and then I have issues 13, 14, 15, 16, all the way
Okay.
up to 17. I have those. And I have a few of the single issues, but I said, fuck it. I'll buy the, I'd rather have the Hickman stuff where I could just read it all. Like,
Yeah.
And so I was like, I'll try this new Amazing Spider-Man, see how it is. I haven't read it yet. This is what I'm going to read tonight.
Good old Joe Kelly's back on the horse again, because Joe Kelly wrote a Spider-Man run a long time ago. He's mostly famous for his Deadpool stuff, but I mean, good Lord, Spider-Man having a relaunch after it already hit like 70 issues. It's like, okay, Marvel, what are you doing here? I mean, I hope it's good. I have them all too, so I hope to read it.
I got the first 2 Ultimate Spider-Mans, and then I have 13 issues 13.
Yep.
And then 14. Oh, this is the Craven stuff. This was actually really good. It was really good. And then I got issue 15, 16, and 17, which is the newest issue, 17.
Yeah, because I know they go from Craven to Mysterio as another villain they're trying to do in that universe.
I know they're like saying like he's going through the Sinister Six or whatever they're called.
Yeah.
The 6, whatever. I can never remember. Oh, God damn it. But yeah, and then I was surprised. I put in my order for the number 4 of Aliens versus Avengers. So we'll have to finish out when it comes out.
The fourth one should be out this month.
This month.
Yeah.
Next month. One of those things. Ow.
Oh. Aliens versus Avengers issue 4. It should be out very soon. When does this drop? The finale. Yeah, this series it came out of left field. I did not expect to get as good as it did.
I love it. I like it. I thought it was fun.
I wasn't a fan of issue 1, but issues 2, 3,
right.
Oh my God, that's so good.
I want to know what's going to happen with Tony. Like, he's dead, supposedly, all this stuff. And I want to know what happens to the people on Earth. Did they end up dying?
Because people in the comment section, they were like, because let me bring it up for people before we get to the video. So I know you guys may have been reading Aliens versus Avengers. I liked it the more the series went, and I really liked the last issue was so damn good.
That was fun, dude.
That was very
a fun
good
issue. Yeah.
So this is coming out on the 18th of this month.
Okay.
Make this,
so we got it's coming out a week from tomorrow. So,
like, the comment right here is like, should have just been released as one hardcover. Yeah, I mean, if we're waiting this long, I'd rather they just put it out all in one book, but Marvel would never do that, honestly.
Yeah, okay, here's the problem, though. People saying this stuff like, oh, it got pushed another month. What the fuck? So 10 months for 4 issues? What a joke. Okay, here's the thing, okay? So when you get that 4th issue, you can't just go back and read 4 fucking comics. You're that fucking dumb.
They're like lazy people. 3 issues.
Fucking stupid. Like, that's like, and as much as they were spreading Hickman that thin, like, you can't like be like, hey, dude. And here's the other thing. Do you really think it's Hickman that kept that from getting done?
Definitely Marvel editors have to be. Has to be. Yeah. Because people forget, around this time period last year, or even early 2023, Hickman was doing Wolverine Revenge. He was doing Ultimate Spider-Man. He's doing Gods. He's doing all this stuff. Yeah, like, that's a lot of series to be doing. That man is getting cooked.
Yeah, and it wasn't even like Gods, as much as it didn't do well, it did reshape the whole cosmics
Yeah.
You know, it's like they have a clear plan now. If they want to go, right?
If it wasn't for TikTok, I would have entirely forgot about this series until just now. That goes to show you that you guys are all TikTok brained. Everyone like this person.
I'd say that's the only thing that I can understand. They
Yeah.
don't advertise, you know, but like it's so stupid. Like
I am
that they're
honestly
like,
tempted to drop this series. I was so excited for the last issue and then so disappointed by it. I know it's the last issue, but for $8, it's just not worth it. But it's not even out yet, unless you got an advanced copy to review or a PDF.
no, he didn't.
I'm going to scream, no, the delay. The worst part about all the delays on the books is in this series is that it isn't even that great of a series. Don't get me wrong. It's definitely above average, but it's nowhere near great, nor the price for $7.99. That's my only real issue. It's like $7.99 for
$7.99 is ridiculous. But the problem is, I think it's hilarious. They're like, it's not even that great. It's above average. What is everybody saying about comics right now? They suck. So shouldn't above average be like incredible to you?
Yeah, honestly, at that point, yeah, I agree. Yeah.
I mean, it's just like, I think it's like people just don't like what they read anymore. Like, don't get me wrong. I know a lot of people aren't going to read The Atom Project, right? But I enjoyed it. Just like I really thought Challengers of the Unknown was fantastic. And I loved the Absolute Martian Manhunter. I love it. I think it's great. And I just think like there's people out there that are fair weather comic book fans. They don't really read. They don't
read enough. Yeah.
They don't read enough. And I guess like, you know, like, did you read the Superman Unlimited?
I have it. I need to read it. Did you actually enjoy it?
It's very Dan Slotty.
I did see one small spoiler, and I was like, that goes.
I'll say this: Raphael Albuquerque's art. There's some really good fucking panels in here. There's one panel where like it's like Superman from like the waist up, and he's like on the inner binding of it, right?
Yeah.
And they have like the planets, and he's telling this story like in his head, dude. I wish I could get that as a poster because it's freaking amazing. Oh, I did get my son. My son got me something. My 7-year-old, he got me this.
That looks great.
Yeah. It's to hang up. It's a painting.
That's cool. Holy crap.
Yeah, it's the Joker sitting on Superman's cape and all the bad guys. It's cool. The art's cool too, because it reminds me of like the old school art. Like it's actually really well done.
It's very good.
Can't do it any further.
Oh, that's fine. I see. That looks awesome. Hell yeah. I would have that hang up in my house. If I have a house. Or is this all a warehouse I'm renting?
Well, you remember you did hurt yourself carrying boxes. So I mean I'm waiting for a stiff wind to blow the backdrop you have there over.
It's like in those TV shows where the background's gone and it just hits the ground and it's just green screen.
Green screen, yeah, dude.
Oh god, Marvel fans upset about a white Panther. Oh god,
dude, it's so funny how fucking mad they are. Oh, did you happen to read this at all?
Reading black people stuff. What's that?
The Ultimate Incursion.
Oh, that comes out. That came out last week. Yeah.
Came out, yeah.
Did you enjoy it? Do you think it was good?
I didn't read it yet. I didn't read it. I wanted to get current on Ultimate Spider-Man. I have 14 or 15, 16, and 17 to read. So I did not fully read it.
Let me I don't know why these websites do these things. Because I was going through one for your video, and then these people were like, but this could be set up in the MCU. They would never do this in the MCU.
I think it's hilarious that
balls for that.
I think it's hilarious that they made a white Black Panther.
We'll get into that right now. Ugh.
Because look at isn't it hypocritical when all those people get mad? Like, you know.
Oh, I can't wait to lay out all the arguments. I can't wait. I've been waiting for this so long. I almost feel vindicated. Guys, right now, I could turn into a damn Super Saiyan. I could go literally Super Saiyan 3.
I'll say this. You know what's funny, though? If you remember one of our first conversations, you did call this like 5 months ago.
I had these conversations years ago, too.
But I'm only saying from my perspective. You did say something to the effect of, like, we were talking about something, and I was like, would they have the balls to ever do this? And you said, well, if they did, it's going to be funny to see, the other people, oh, what? You can't do that. You can't do that.
Yeah,
but yet they've been doing it to every character the opposite way.
Because this happened when, fucking hell. This came up, I think, when, like, Wonder Man was casted. Then they're gonna have Yahya Abdul-Mateen II playing, from the guy who played Black Manta.
Right.
They're like, well, if they're gonna race up all these characters, then I always use Static Shock, and I always use Black Panther. It's like, well, what if they just race swap Static Shock and Black Panther? Would you be okay with that? They're like, no, but you can't do that. And it's like, well, why? They're like, but it's intrinsic to their character that they're black. It's like,
no,
I thought you said race, but these people always told me that skin color didn't matter. Like that's my confusion. It's like, if we're gonna use logic for doing that, then it has to be applied consistently across the board. You can't say, like, race doesn't matter for one character when it clearly matters for another character.
Why can't they, if they're making a new Black Panther, why can't it be something that's
not Black Panther?
Has nothing to do with, like, Wakanda, or what? If anybody can, if they argue that the mantle of Captain America can be on anybody, then that means any character who has been passed down, regardless of who it's been passed down to, that's a mantle. Why couldn't freaking someone break into Wakanda, eat the flowers, lay in the ash, and get the Black Panther? Like, why is that so wrong as compared to giving, Falcon the Captain America mantle?
Oh, yeah. So we'll get into that. Let's get into that video. This is about to be fun. I've waited for this moment. I've waited for this moment for so long. I'm almost like, oh god, you guys are gonna love this video when you see it on the comic book channel. I'm just gonna go ham all the way the fuck in. So let's get this banger going. Why do I have bottles of Sprite here? Why do I have? Hey, this girl left her bra here after we had sex last night. This girl left her underwear here, dude. Come on, man.
No.
She left her undergarments. This is why women are disgusting. Good lord.
Women who sleep with you are disgusting.
I mean,
that's not a very good endorsement for you, is it?
Yeah. Okay. To be fair, technically speaking, you're right. But
only technically,
because you gotta blame them too. I mean, what's the old saying? It takes two to tango. I always hated that saying. That's such a gay saying. Or like when dudes call their wives their partners. That's so gay.
I can't stand that. So it's funny. Like, every time I read something and someone says my partner, I always put in crime. Like, what do you mean? Like
if they're your girlfriend, maybe I'll allow it to go. But being a wife and husband, that should mean something. That's not it's your fucking wife. That means something to you. You know, that's my partner. What? Gay. All right. So I've waited for this moment for the past, I don't know how long. I'm gonna have some rejoice moment in this part. All right, let's have some fun here. Hey everyone, I am MSK, aka Master Swag King, coming at you guys today with another video. And if you guys are returning viewers or new viewers, then please consider subscribing to the channel if you have not already. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it and comment down below. Also, make sure you guys hit the notification bell. That way you guys can get notified on whenever I upload a brand new video. And in today's video, we are going to be talking about something that I never thought was going to happen, and it actually did come true, and it actually came first from Marvel Comics. So, as you guys probably don't know, since a lot of you guys don't read comics, but since I am uploading this video on my comic book YouTube channel, most of you guys are reading comic books, actually. And despite everything these companies have done to get people to not read comics, we still are reading them because we just love the medium that much. And Marvel Comics specifically has been doing some crazy ideas to get people to come back and start reading comic books. Because as you guys know, comic book reading across the board has been down quite a bit. It always ebbs and flows. There's some high peaks and there's some low peaks, but definitely, comic books have been on the downward trajectory for quite some time.
It has.
Not exactly dying.
Hugh's doing
but,
pretty good.
Yeah, So this is something that has been a meme for quite some time because we have to kind of unravel a lot of this before we get into what Laps is going to say. Because if you guys don't know the history of this, you're going to be like, what the fuck's the issue then? Okay, so whenever a character from a comic book, whether it be from Marvel or DC, is always race or gender swap, people have an issue with it.
Before you go on,
go ahead. Yeah.
Easiest example would be Nick Fury from the 616 to the Ultimate Universe.
Right.
They turned white Nick Fury in the regular 616 was black Nick Fury in the Ultimate Universe.
Yes.
Still love both characters, me personally, but that's what we're talking about, where no one had a problem with that, right?
Yes.
So, go ahead.
You're fine. So, as people know, because I've said this on my previous YouTube channel that I had, on my other podcasts in the past, that, got kind of retconned for reasons I will not explain here. But this is at a point now where I feel so vindicated with this, because this is what I've been saying for years at this point, because I really do not like race swaps and gender swaps. And the main reason of it is because throughout my time on YouTube, I've interviewed indie creators, and you can tell there's mega passion with someone who has an artist that creates a character that is in the vein of something that they like, that they've wanted to see come out of from their own imagination. Like when you think about any famous artists from Marvel or DC or Image or whoever, where you read your comics, whenever you read their interviews, even if you don't like their political views, they are very passionate about what their character means to them, even if you don't like them as a person. And that's what matters. If you don't value the people that actually make the books, why do you value anything at that point? Because what we're going to unravel here is another thing that I like to bring up in these conversations is when you start tampering with characters' race and gender and you don't actually make it make sense in the grand scheme of things, then it becomes another issue of because the casual fan will be like, but why does it matter? And keep in mind, the reason why
it's
he says
identity
casual
politics,
fan.
basically.
Yeah. If you're a casual fan, I'll just say this right now. You aren't going to care because in your own statement, you're a casual. The company knows you won't care. But if someone like me or you is constantly reading the books, yes, we do care, because God forbid we're spending our hard-earned money on this. Of course I fucking care. Why would I be doing these videos if I didn't care about the damn characters, right? So I think personally, when you do that kind of thing, you disrespect the creators and you massively to me, you're telling me you're racist because you have a problem with their race. I have no problem with Superman being a white man, as people call him. I have no problem with Batman being white. I have no problem with Diana being an Amazon. I have no problem with Marsh Manhunter being green. I have no problem with these things. But the companies do. The companies go out of the way to have new artists and writers change who they are. They have a problem with the race, not the other way around. And then they gaslight people into believing, no, you're the racist for not accepting this. It's like you went to a restaurant. Name the best restaurant you ever went to. And you were going there year in, year out with your family, eating the best steak, mashed potatoes, corn on the cob, everything. Because these companies eat corn on the cob the long way. Not me, because I'm a man. And then all of a sudden, you went there for your son's graduation. He's 18. You went to their favorite restaurant, and they served you literally a pile of shit. And then they told you, if you don't eat that pile of shit, you're a horrible fucking person. You're a piece of garbage. You're a bigot, a Nazi, or a Yahtzee, or whatever, right? You're like, well, what? I liked what you were giving me before. I had no problem with you. You're good with me. But no, that's what they do. All they do is gaslight people and bullshit like that. And now my other argument would be, hey, if you're going to apply this across the board, apply it equally. If you're going to race swap people, because it makes no sense to just race swap all these other characters, but these other ones are sacred because, they have to be made that way. Because casual idiots will be like, you can't race swap Black Panther. It's intrinsic to his character that he has to be black. But you just told me that race doesn't matter. If you told me that race doesn't matter, then it doesn't matter, right? If these things don't matter, why should you care?
Couldn't he be South African?
Elon Musk is South African, is he? He's white. Well, looks white,
Well, I'm saying there's a lot of cream colored people in South Africa. The biggest problem that I have is the fans. That's my biggest problem.
Yep, I agree.
Is the fans because, and I I actually never thought they would pull. I never thought that they would pull the trigger and do this.
When the sales are low, they're desperate. That's literally desperate. I don't
Dude,
know what that is.
it's fucking funny too, because he like when he unmasks, like so basically what happens is this: Black Panther, this old man he's old in the beginning, right? And it's like tells you like this many years till days to come. That's what it's called, the day to come, right? And he's telling a story and all this stuff, and he's doing that ritual combat that we've seen in the movie on the waterfall, right? And he's fighting this, and he's whooping this dude's ass the whole time. And there's this new priest person which is kind of funny because they kind of like in the whole comic book, like deconstructing the whole way of how Wakanda is run, because they're like, he only became a priest because he was the only person that was willing to staple beads to his face. That was literally the line. And they showed him like a close up. He's got like these beads that go from his ear, and they're literally stapled in his forehead. Like that's like, so like they're making fun of they're like deconstructing Wakanda, right?
And but apparently you're not supposed to do that. Apparently it's because they're black. They can't get touched. Remember? That was the rule. But Marvel doesn't care. This is what we talked about earlier, not in this video, but when we're off camera before you hit live on the show. Guys, these companies do not care about you.
No, they do not care
that
about
social media manager that changes their Twitter profile picture to be a pride flag, that is just to virtue signal. They do not care about gay people. Because Disney owns Marvel. If Disney cared about gay people, why did they cancel The Acolyte? They canceled a bunch of gay and people of color show and make them essentially not get any money. But they care about gay people, right?
Put it this way. If money had a dick, then they would be the gayest company in the world. Okay? There you go.
Also, the other thing to bring up is I hated that saying that you guys, not you, but like these people have.
No, I know.
It doesn't matter. Okay, if we're using logic like that, it doesn't matter. Then first of all, if it doesn't matter, why are you here then? If it doesn't matter, why do you care what happens with any character if you're a casual? If you're a casual fan and you only read like 1 or 2 comics a year and you just go watch the movies, why do you care that people that have spent their hard-earned money, spent half their life like reading and watching this stuff, why do you care that they're angry? You shouldn't care at all. You're a casual. What the fuck?
Why are we applying real-world hatred to drawn characters? Like, because I want Steve Rogers Captain America books, it means I'm racist.
Yeah.
What? He's not real.
We were talking about projection earlier in not this video, but earlier in this episode when you guys see the pre-recorded video come up for you guys.
Yeah,
we're talking about people
that,
project some of the stupidest shit onto some of these characters where the race argument plays up. It doesn't matter if Superman is race. It matters to the people who created him, Jerry Siegel and Joel Studio. It matters to them. What I don't think they're not alive anymore. Go up to them and be like, "Hey, your fucking character's race doesn't matter." You would never say that. You would never tell Stan Lee or whoever character he created in Marvel. He created a lot with Jack Kirby and Steve Ditko. Tell him they don't matter. You would never say that. Where's this line of disrespect you guys get? Where if things don't matter, you're gonna call if things don't matter, why do you call people racist then? They don't matter. Why do you care what I think about Steve's race? Why?
That's the thing is
they do matter.
Circular argument.
Yeah.
Because they don't have an actual argument. I can say what my argument is.
Right.
This is the character that I grew up reading. This is the person that I spent a lot of my money on. This is the person who I want to see adventures of. If you would like to make another, say, Captain America, that's fine. But I would still like my Steve Rogers books. Right.
And we've always said this too. DC, credit to them, they've made really good legacy characters that a lot of you guys know and love, like Wally West and freaking hell, Hal Jordan, the other one, fucking hell, blanking out his name, Jon Stewart. Stewart. Dick Grayson's technically a legacy character if you think about him. He's supposed to be technically Batman.
100% a legacy character.
Yeah, you have Jason Todd, you have Tim Drake, you have Damian Wayne. So many. You could argue, Kyle Rayner came later. Fucking the one they're using the Superman movie. I forget his name. Fucking hell. Oh my God. Guy Gardner. He's there. I mean, guys, I always said this. You can make popular versions of a character's mantle. Just depends on the creative team behind it. But that does not mean that if I just want Steve Rogers that I'm racist. Why did that make that doesn't make any sense? That would mean that I just want my original Captain America the way he is. What's wrong with that?
It doesn't mean that you can't have the other one, but put those out and see which one sells. And when the other one gets canceled, you can call you can call yourself racist since you didn't support it.
And that's the other thing I wanted to bring up. You guys don't even support the characters when they get their books anyway. We'll just use a recent example.
Look at Miles. Everybody goes to see the freaking Across the Spider-Verse movie.
Love the movies.
Anybody buying those fucking books? Nope.
Yep. What about let's do Sam Wilson Captain America? Just had a new 5-issue miniseries. Any of you guys read it?
Right.
Crickets.
I didn't. And I'm an actual Falcon fan.
Yeah.
I even have this thing. I've had this forever. I've had this. This is one of my first figure.
Damn, I wish he had that suit in the MCU. Damn, that looks so damn cool. Classic red on him.
Even my mother, she doesn't really care about the superhero movies, but like she likes the Captain America movies and she likes Falcon. And when we watched the new Captain America movie, the only thing she said was, I don't understand why he's Captain American. Why can't he just be Falcon? Like, there was no difference. She was like, he's just wearing red.
I agree with your mom. I said the same thing in my review. Said the same thing. There's nothing.
If you're going to make him Captain America, make him Captain America.
That's true. Another thing I wanted to bring up here is basically kind of like how you guys read books. We use Harry Potter. I know your son probably reads Harry Potter. You like Harry Potter a lot.
I've listened to the audiobooks. Of Harry Potter.
J.K. Rowling, the creator of that series, has distinctively when she's had people make art for it, Harry looks a certain way.
He looks a very specific way.
Yes. None of you that
took them forever to cast what's his
Daniel
name?
Radcliffe.
Daniel Radcliffe in the movie.
Yeah.
I actually saw that on an HBO documentary thing.
And that goes to show you right there that people, whenever they read Harry Potter, whenever they imagine them doing live action movies of Harry Potter, I would imagine, go figure, you wanted Harry to look like he did in the book, the way he described, right? That's why.
Same with the Weasleys. How she described the Weasleys. You know what I mean? Like that was a very specific description.
Yes.
Of them. And people argue the Snape thing. Okay. Well, here's the argument that I use. Okay. Regardless of whether you want him to be black or white, okay, whatever. She described him as a man with a hooked nose and possibly one of the ugliest human beings that you've ever seen.
Sallow,
not being played by
skin,
a
something like
supermodel.
That. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's not even what's his name that played him in the movies. As he did a good job. People love him in the movie, you know, but even him. Whenever I saw it, I didn't think in my head
ugliest person
as what I heard in the books in the description. And I don't want to get into a argument on like what sallow means, you know, because there's many definitions of it.
Right.
So it's one of those things where I'm just like, if it matters so much, right, that you need to be represented by your skin color instead of what the character stands for, if the
personality traits,
the only thing you care about is that person being that says to me that I'm not going to call you racist, but what I am going to call you is you devalue other skin colors.
I would just say you're too race obsessed. That's what I would say. You're so race obsessed that
you also devalue other people.
Because
saying to me that, oh, well, we've seen white people in this, we've seen white people in that, dude, I'm telling you right now, I never watched Friday or Don't Be a Menace to South Central or Drinking Your Juice in the Hood or In Living Color and go, man, Homie the Clown should have been white.
Yeah, that's I was
never thought any of those things ever.
I just want to just add into your point, which is you have people that'll say that line. They're like, we've seen enough white people in this. Guys, I'll say this before. I don't care. Like, and I'll just tie it into a basketball reference that you're going to understand. When people went to go see Michael Jordan play when he was at his prime, they did not give a flying fuck if he was black. They did not care. He just was debatably the greatest basketball player to ever pick up the damn ball. Why did you like Michael Jordan? Because he played the game very good. Race was an afterthought in your brain when you went to
Dude,
watch
I'm
him play.
still wearing his shoes.
Mhm. I
I
don't get.
still buy them.
I really don't get where that line comes from. There's been too many white people, so we must change it up. No, guys, I don't. And I'll tie it to another reference. We'll use MCU because people said, well, they're not going to make underknown characters movies anymore because they flop. That's good. As a business, you should go. If let's use Michael Jordan as Spider-Man, and let's say Kobe Bryant's the X-Men. If that's only the movies they made, and that's the only ones that got money, yeah, I don't care if they're all white related. Who gives a fuck if it's white related? If it's good, as last one says, if it's good, it's good. I'll go watch it. You guys are just so race obsessed. Your brains are brain rotted out to the core. What is wrong with you?
The other thing is, like, have you ever seen or heard of a white movie? You know what I mean? Like,
damn. Unless you're,
but like,
hell.
think of it like this. Think of it like this. We know that there's blaxploitation movies, you know, like Blackula,
like slave movies,
like, other stuff like that, where they're made for a specific, you know, they're made for a specific person, right? Girlfriends, is that like a white movie? I don't know. I don't know.
I've never got this logic because people will use it with Professor X and Magneto because, you know, there's rumors popping up that it's going to be Giancarlo Esposito and Denzel Washington. But we've seen Magneto and Professor X is white before. Who cares? I don't care if they're white for every movie that they ever exist for.
Yeah, and guess what?
Convince me a black person is going to portray a Jewish person.
Green in the comics, I'd expect them to be green in the movie.
Or he's Dragon Ball in Piccolo. Piccolo's green in the anime. If they ever made a live action movie, he better be damn green. If he's black, I'm going to be fighting you. We're going to be throwing hands because that's, you know, stupid, right? Convince me you guys convince me that a black person is going to play a Jewish Holocaust survivor. But I thought race didn't matter. So when it gets Jewish people and white people, you yourself are apparently racist by that logic. You gotta really think about that. Magneto is a Jewish Holocaust survivor.
That literally spawned his powers.
Yeah.
Was him seeing his mother and father separated.
I thought you guys said race didn't matter. I thought you guys said white people got too much. Marvel doesn't care.
And I like how, like, white people are just all grouped into one big giant, like, Jewish, Italian, like. If my wife came down here, right? You look at me. I'm white, okay? I reflect light at you. I could blind people with it. My wife is like olive brown. Like, she's, you know what I mean? My son is very dark skinned.
Yeah.
Like very dark. And she's Czechoslovakian. Like, that's just her. That's just what she is. Like, and I just don't get it. I just don't get it. Why is it?
If we flip the logic now,
if the limitation of your mind is only set to the parameters of color, fuck, dude, your life must be miserable.
Like, they'll even bend it with like the How to Fuck Your Dragon coming up, the live action of the animated movies. Astrid was a Viking, and people were like, well, they can change it. Well, then if that's all you care about is that she's not white and that she's just black now, then did you ever really like what's going on? Or are you just that race obsessed? I truly will ask, what is wrong with half of you? You're so race obsessed that if someone created a character for it to be a part of their life, for something that they really cared for, you'll just shit on it and go, well, it doesn't need to be white anymore. Why? Because it's too much of it. White people make up the majority of the world. You're going to see more white people than most people you probably interact with ever. You know? Sorry, it's how life works.
It just sucks that it comes to that, because, like, if we could just make things that, like I've always said on your channel, do I wish that they were comic book accurate? Yes.
I would love that. Yeah.
I would love that. Do I understand why it's not? I understand it. It doesn't mean I agree with it.
Yes.
I understand the way that the world works. That's why, personally, I don't go see certain movies, or I don't go, you know what I mean? Like,
So this is another thing. I'll bring up as a final
point. You've seen the Ryan Gosling Black Panther.
Oh, I've seen this forever. I love him. There is one thing I'll bring up before I start covering what's in this article for our video. Okay. I thought because when another character's race swapped, you guys go, oh, why do you hate black people? Why do you hate Mexicans? Why do you hate women? Okay, Black Panther's white now. Do you hate white people by that logic? You see how stupid the argument always was? And it was never about the race. people were just arguing the fact that they didn't like the change. Keep in mind, how would I be racist if I just didn't like a character's change? That doesn't even make logical sense. Do you know how much of a leap? Do you know how much of a leap in logic that has to be for you to go from that point to that point? I must be a racist because I checks note didn't like the way they changed a character that I liked.
And
what?
Yeah, it's funny. And it's like people want to get angry and stuff. Guess what? I've always said Black Panther is one of my favorite characters. Do I want the new Black Panther to be white? No. Not really.
Mm-hmm.
Not at
makes
all.
Sense. Makes perfect sense. Yeah.
I don't want him to be white. I want him to be T'Challa and talk to dead T'Chaka and his sister Shuri. That's what I like. That's what I want. But if the same people who say all of that shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
And where we're like, we want this to be this, how come I'm not being praised for my stance of, I don't want there to be a White Panther, but I only don't want it because this is the character that I've read and that I have, books of, and that I've bought lots of, Black Panther Conquered. I paid a lot of money.
Your favorite run is Ta-Nehisi Coates' run on Black Panther? The person who said 9/11 responder should be, certain words I can't say on YouTube. Fuck that guy.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like, no matter which way they argue, it's still wrong. Because if you argue against my point, then you're basically race obsessed. But if you argue for my point, then your other arguments in the case of Captain America, being Sam Wilson, then you're wrong on that. So like, why
it's because they justified race swapping it for white characters, but they never did it to a black one, so they don't know how to process it.
Well, like, white people are evil in America today.
Right, yeah.
So, I mean, it's dude, you don't understand. Whenever I go to the meetings out back with all the other evil people, the things that we plot,
dude,
they're pretty insane.
Story. I remember you said a story where one time you went to a comic book shop and there was a bunch of Ku Klux Klan members there buying Black Panther omnibuses.
So many.
That's what Klan members do. That's what white supremacists do. They go to a comic book shop on Wednesdays and buy Black Panther comic books.
Yeah, the guy came up to me. He's like, "Hey, Steven, you got that new Ultimate Black Panther book?"
Yeah, man, they
read it. Oh,
they were saying them slurs in that book. The ends were flying.
That's a good book there, Steven. Like, just hear how ridiculous you sound. It's so stupid.
Yeah, you must be. Oh, good lord! Just imagine that walking to a comic book shop and seeing someone in a Klan outfit buying a Black Panther book. That would be the most weirdest shit on the planet.
That might be the only time I see nerds get into a fight with another person that's not a nerd.
Oh, I just couldn't imagine it. Marvel just announced its new Black Panther, setting the stage for a major MCU theory to come true. This is never happening in the MCU, ever. This will never happen in the MCU, but I'll read what the theory is later on in this. Warning, spoilers for Marvel Knights, The World to Come, issue #1. So they announced this like 4-issue miniseries of Marvel Knights, and this, I forgot the other intricacies of it, but this book came out. I totally forgot it existed until the white Black Panther image that popped up on Twitter. Marvel has just introduced the successor to Black Panther as Kedema? The future son of T'Challa. The revelation has arrived in Marvel Knights, The World to Come, leaping 25 years into Marvel's future, where a new leader to the Wakandan people blossoms the new era anew. But the choice of who is under the mask may be enough to produce controversy in universe and for real fans.
Oh, for real fans.
Real fans. Huh? Now it was crazy. These kind of publications.
Dude, go down to the picture though. Look at him.
Look at this.
He looks like Aquaman's son.
It looks like James if he was buff.
Oh my god, look at him.
At him, man.
That's so stupid.
I love it from some of these websites, because most of these websites, weren't you guys the ones saying like, oh, comic book readers are a bunch of in basement dwelling incel, blah, 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 blah. Now we're the real fans. Fuck off.
Yeah.
Marvel Knights, The World to Come, issue #1, marks the debut of Kedema, the Black Panther's son. Oh, so T'Challa likes white girls. That's my boy right there. All
He was
right.
smacking that ass. White girl ass.
They took our jobs.
They
Can't wait
took
for
our gerbs.
I can't
They
wait for
took our
Wakandans to
gerbs.
start saying that. He took my mantle.
They stole it. Right off my porch.
God. With the story depicting an aging T'Challa taking part in the tribal combat challenge for Wakanda's leadership, as seen in the Black Panther films, it's clear this one fight does not wish to win, revealing that this fighter is Kedema, T'Challa's son, but he is nevertheless defeated by the younger man, who then removes his mask to reveal someone of a much whiter, blonder complexion than most readers will expect.
Wait. Blonder than most readers would expect. What? What? I mean, I don't know if they've ever met black people before, but I've never went, wow, man, that's such nice blonde hair you have.
Oh,
Like, what?
God.
Blonder than you expect. What? This is so stupid. This is so dumb. And I actually read it.
My stomach hurts so bad.
I
Who
paid
writes like
money
that?
for this stupid
Obviously, if you're in Wakanda, I wouldn't expect blonde people.
No. Maybe like a visitor outside who's confused as to why they can't walk past the tree because they keep walking into a invisible fence.
Oh, wait a minute. Maybe Marvel got it. Maybe Marvel was ahead of that whole African white people genocide that Trump was talking about a long time ago. Because remember, white people are being persecuted in Africa. I'm not getting political. I'm just saying that was what the headline was. Maybe they're like, hey, there's very few people in Africa, and Africa's Wakanda because it's black people, right?
Good Lord.
Good Lord. He's being persecuted. Next issue, his people are going to be persecuted. I'm calling it right now. Oh, my God. The fight is anything but fair or fatal, and it's clear from the first issue that this defeat will mean more trouble for Wakanda's future, not less. Nonetheless, T'Challa is beaten, with Kedema declaring himself the new ruler of Wakanda to the assembled priests and administration of the nation. And with rumors, go ahead.
So the fight, like T'Challa is kicking his ass, right?
Yeah.
And he's trying to stop it. And that priest that I told you that he's like the new priest guy, he's like, no, you can't stop the fight. He knows T'Challa's not gonna kill Kedema, right? But you, the reader, don't know why yet. Like, because they haven't said that it's his son, right? So T'Challa goes to stop him and he throws him down, and that's Kedema goes over the waterfall, right? He falls down, and T'Challa goes and fishes him out of the water, and he's holding him, and he's like, this is over. And the priest is like, no, it's not. It's only over whenever someone's not breathing. That's the law. And he goes, or unless the challenger yields. And he's like, do you yield? And he's like, no, I don't. And that's when you are told that that's his son. Because he's like, I'm your father. And he's like, if you were ever my father, you would have done this, 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 and this. So it's that same father archetype, great character. They have to destroy a great character and make him a horrible father and make him a horrible, you know what I mean? Like all that bullshit. And so T'Challa's not really fighting back. So he gets his ass kicked. And that's whenever Kedema pulls off his mask. So like we knew for a couple pages that it was T'Challa's son. But the big thing is like, you're expecting like a black guy underneath. So he pulls it off and he's like, fucking Chad Longley over there looking stupid as hell. It's just so dumb, dude. It's just so stupid.
And Marvel Comics wonder why they don't have readers for their books.
It's just so dumb, dude.
And with rumors of the MCU searching for a new Black Panther, this story will give T'Challa's son taking over a whole new meaning.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't, because that kid is black. Unless the kid randomly is white in the third movie.
Yeah, like they showed the kid already. Like
if the kid's white, god damn, Marvel, you got balls.
And look at the okay, go down. Yeah. Is she white? She's the same complexion as him. That's what I'm saying. Remember how I was telling you like how stupid this book was?
So wait,
where does he get blonde hair?
But like, okay, as you guys know, I've had sex with a lot of women, and from what I know, from what the black gene I heard is very dominant when you're mating, like just when you're having sex with a girl. So when you have a kid, if you're black, it'll come out more black because the gene is more dominant. If that's true, why wouldn't this kid be black, like light skin?
Like look at the hand on her belly and look at her hand.
That's a
They
black
are
lady.
the same.
What in the world? Oh my
God.
God.
That's what I'm saying. This whole book is stupid. And the only reason why they did it was for that reveal.
Controversy.
That is all. Yeah. That's the only reason. Now, do you understand why we don't like race swaps? Now do you get it? It's fucking stupid.
Yeah, I've always said this. Race swaps and gender swaps are stupid. They make no sense and fall apart at the slightest bit of logic. The slightest bit, because
we just showed it. That's a black woman and a black dude that made a white child with blonde hair. What is happening?
Nothing.
We just showed you. Like, what world is that kid going to look like the child that we just saw?
Oh, God. And I always tell people this: if you're going to apply that logic, you need to apply it consistently. If you're going to do it for other characters, do it for these ones. And now they finally broke that. So now DC, when it comes to Static Shock, I hope he's white. But they killed Static Shock with that whole relaunch where he got his powers in a Black Lives Matter rally. So that's never gonna that character's done forever, honestly, which is sad.
They could that cartoon was so fun.
That theme song goes pretty hard, man.
Dude, it wasn't a bad show. It really wasn't. I just
this is why no one, because this is like, if they never race up with gender swap, we wouldn't be having these conversations. But they go out of their way to do this. This is why their race swaps and gender swaps just. I know they're not going to stop doing them, but just go and not do them, please. It's just.
Dude, and how about use the black characters that you have that you don't? You have fucking Blue Marvel, who's like one of the strongest, smartest, like, and you haven't done anything with him. Use him. God, he's already there. You don't have to create it. Like, you don't, like, I don't understand.
So when people said that if a white character gets raced up to a black character, that's taking white people's sloppy seconds, that's essentially blackwashing. Isn't this whitewashing?
Oh my God.
It's like that commercial where that Asian lady put a black man inside of the washing machine and he came out white.
What? I have never seen that one.
That was the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. Marvel Knights, The World to Come issue number 1 takes a look black through time in the past, present, and future of the Black Panther mantle, and keeps many of its storylines and coming twists on Marvel canon close to its chest. But the story is built around this fight scene set 8 years before The World to Come is apparently born.
Wait, they kept it close to their chest? What? They blew their like what could they possibly do more? Like, what else?
When you're getting paid by Marvel to shill for them, just their big accounts. It's like that meme in Twitch chat where they go like, this player got PayPal. Screen Rant got PayPal by Marvel years ago.
Dude,
this is bought and paid for.
Bad. This is so bad.
And it is abundantly clear that whatever else the story has to reveal, a tormented father-son relationship is in place. Kedema constantly berates and disrespects T'Challa, calling him an unworthy father and a liar. I hate these people. Having turned the country of Wakanda over to its people as a true democracy by this point, T'Challa should suggest the highest-ranking priests have warped his son's beliefs, filling his head with lies. But T'Challa's push for a non-violent end to the challenge leave him wide open for what turns into a beating from his son as the fight is interspersed with flashbacks to the past, revealing T'Challa's romance and fathering of a child with black jazz singer and former Flame Monica Lynn, making it all more shocking when the new Black Panther unmasked to have blonde hair and blue eyes.
So I'm wondering, maybe Kedema is from just a random white woman.
That's Ryan Gosling.
The kid that they showed in the baby in her stomach, maybe comes and challenges Kedema and his black kid that comes and wins black back. I don't know. I hate this, dude. This is so dumb. This is so stupid.
Oh gosh. Surrounding this scene, the representatives of Wakanda's people, particularly T'Challa's High Priest M, appears less than pleased about the scene, with the non-fatal battle only complicating this shocking rivalry. If T'Challa's son challenged him for the role of Black Panther, the democratic nature of Wakanda makes his placement as a monarch questionable. But with the hero's ethnicity and blackness itself inherently tied to the Black Panther franchise, the revelation that Kedema is acting vicious villains shit.
They couldn't help themselves. They couldn't. It says, but with the hero's ethnicity and blackness itself, they turned it into an entity. And blackness.
I almost couldn't read that with a straight face.
Dude, you
Who
know that
got
was
paid
written
to
by
write
some
that?
white dude. Like,
that was written by some white liberal that went to fucking Stanford or some shit.
And blackness itself.
Hold on. I almost died reading that inside. But with the hero's ethnicity and blackness itself inherently tied to the Black Panther franchise, the revelation that Kedema is acting villainously and is blonde-haired and blue-eyed means controversy is guaranteed. Marvel's the one that whatever. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. Blackness itself.
Blackness itself.
Fuck. Who wrote this? I have to know.
Who are you?
I have to know who wrote this.
He said, "Who are you?"
By
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. That's a lie.
This is a lie.
Good Lord.
His expertise is in Power Rangers and WWE. What? Okay.
It's so
all right.
stupid.
My stomach hurts.
This is
God.
So dumb.
Brother, who I forgot his name. I'm gonna call him Shaniqua.
But it was his initials were JAM and he calls himself Jam, by the way.
Jam? How much they pay to write this? How much were you PayPal'd? How much? I need to know.
Who are you? I'm Blackness. How y'all doing?
Having a white man under the Black Panther mask obviously won't sit right with many readers. Gee, you think? No shit, Sherlock.
Like, he only has a bunch of history.
He only has like 60 years of history.
Yeah, this is what we're talking about. This is what we've been talking about for so long.
Yes, character's history matters, but I thought it did matter. It did matter. Yes, of course it fucking matters.
Right.
It always mattered.
It's in the freaking name. It's in the name. It
literally says Black Panther.
It's in the name.
But the argument people will give is like, but Black Panther's always been a mantle. Yes, but it's always been a black person. It's never been a white person, ever. So it obviously meant Black Panther means black person.
Yeah, dude. And it's like,
not everything has to be intrinsically explained to you in a freaking paragraph all the time.
Exactly. It's
holy shit. You guys need everything microscopically explained to you? You can't pick up like context clues?
Dumb. It's so dumb, dude. So dumb.
And it would seem that it is exactly Marvel's intention, even without hints that Kedema's action caused shockwaves through the future. His heinous actions should be enough to make people uncomfortable. The fact that the character is seemingly
what makes me uncomfortable is Marvel. Marvel is making me uncomfortable. Like, what are you talking about? This article is making me uncomfortable.
Blackness itself. I've never read that in my life.
Oh,
God Lord. Oh shit. The fact that the character is seemingly a Caucasian son of two black parents only raises more questions. So the question now becomes, will the arrival of T'Challa's son mean a new king or a new villain? Time will tell.
This is the stupidest article. This is so dumb. Every single thing
I love this last part
where
it says more questions are going to be raised. Yes, a pure-blooded white person was born from two blacks. Yes. What was your first clue, buddy?
It's-
Will he be a new villain? No shit, he will be a new villain. He just beat up T'Challa. No shit.
It's like,
Yes, he's gonna be singing "Kumbaya" with the Avengers tomorrow. He's gonna be at their round table drinking blackness juice.
he's like, hey, sweetie, what happened? I don't think you were faithful to me. No, this is definitely our son. I don't think so.
Yes, he's gonna be in the Avengers Towers with Thor, Sam Wilson. Hey, yo, bro, you're black. They're gonna ask, can we get Black Panther on the phone? Send in Black Panther. It's Kenema. You're looking a little. T'Challa's looking a little different
we
lately.
didn't ask for Panther. We asked for Black Panther.
He's gonna come in the elevator. He's gonna be like, hey, yo, T'Challa, you're looking kind of different now, buddy.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yes, I am, guys.
Yo, what's up, my dogs? Like, what if he starts saying the N-word? Yo, what's up, my N-word after every one of his sentences? And hey, Captain America's black in the Avengers now. Sam Wilson.
If they do that,
they've ascended to God status. I'll buy every book.
That is blackness itself. I hate this whole thing.
Hey, because isn't Black Panther part of the Illuminati? Tony's like,
yes.
I'm working on forming a team. Can I get Black Panther on the phone? Kenema, hello, sir. Wait, T'Challa, you sound kind of different. Shit.
Dude, it's so bad.
I do want League of Comics Geeks. I need to see who wrote this. I need to see who wrote and drew this. Marvel Knights.
The actual comic?
Yeah, I need to see it. Oh my god. I'll bring it up right now.
I don't know who wrote it.
Fuck.
Even though I have it.
I need to see who wrote and drew this. If a white person, if a black person and a white person drew this, holy shit. This is the writer, Christopher Priest.
Christopher Priest, yeah, of course.
Joe Quesada. If you guys don't know who Joe Quesada is, Joe Quesada is the person that initiated the whole Mephisto taking away Peter Parker and Mary Jane's fucking marriage. Yes. You know this guy's a fucking fraud. This
like
guy's
Christopher
a fucking hack.
Priest, he did what do you call it? Why can't I think of?
We'll read the comments. Oh my god. Let's see what the comments are. I've never read anything like this before. 5 stars. Oh my god. Let's see what else is here. I genuinely did not enjoy this. Fans of Black Panther steeped in his lore will likely love it, but I'm not as counted in their number. I did not. I found it be filled with terrible dialogue, fighting that did nothing to make me care why there was fighting, time skipping, and a general sense of self-importance that I found off-putting. Okay. A flimsy start. This is my introduction to Priest. I'm intrigued by this. He says I'm intrigued, but gave no stars. Okay. I'm conflicted. Yeah, we're not conflicted. None of us here are conflicted. We know this is some trash. All right, so. Oh my god, what the heck? Oh my, why did it do that? It like lagged for a second there when I was stopping the screens. But yes, I don't even know what to say anymore. I'll just say this. Marvel, I will actually give you your props. You actually did it. You actually made Black Panther white. I'll give you the Arnold Schwarzenegger, Carl Weathers, Predator iconic handshake. I'll give you that.
And
you applied it both ways.
Christopher Priest, he's done a lot of Black Panthers. So, and I know he did. Do you remember a couple years ago that Superman Lost, like 12 issue?
I think I know I've heard of it. I know I've heard something similar like that. I think
he also did Steel back in the 90s. I don't know if that was his like first thing that he did, but Superman Lost was one of his big ones. He was the one that was did Deathstroke for Rebirth.
Oh,
the Deathstroke comic.
Did he do Avengers Dissembled? I think he did Avengers Dissembled.
I thought did he do Disassembled or was that Bendis?
No. What did Chris? I'll just look up his comic biography right now.
Because there was one really big.
Let's see. One moment.
Did
Christopher Priest, comic writer? Let's see how much. What are his credits?
I can't think for some reason.
Comics. So he's did a lot of stuff.
Yeah, he's done a lot of stuff.
He's been in comics since 1983.
Yeah, there's one run though. Was it Hellblazer? No, it wasn't.
He was a fill-in writer for a lot of stuff. The last thing he's gonna have come up is this right now, which is he did Deathstroke, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
He did Inhumans, Justice League. He's worked on pretty much every big title except for like apparently Batman. From what I've got,
he did the Hill from Batman. I know that he did the Hill. I've read.
So
he's
worked on like every big character. Honestly, that's crazy. All right, good gosh. Well, I don't know how we're gonna end up processing this information for you guys, but I will say this: blackness itself is something I've never thought I would ever.
No, I never thought I would ever hear something like that ever. I know Christopher Priest's biggest run, he was doing Black Panther, I believe, in like 98 or 99. He did like that whole run through like 2003, 2004. I know that because I read a lot of that, but there was something else that he did, and I'm trying to find what it was.
All these headlines, oh my god, even the trades that will shill for Marvel Comics because they get the free PDFs to fucking read, to review.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was up here, comicbook.com. Is Marvel trolling with the white Black Panthers debut? No, they're probably half trolling, half serious about this. Marvel fans begged for Ryan Gosling to leave Black Panther 3 after white version of Holy shit. Oh god, there's some Daily Mail. Oh my god. The meme. To complete the meme, Ryan Gosling as Kedema for the next Black Panther film in the MCU. He needs to be cast to complete the circle of memes. Please, Marvel and Disney. I want this. I love
that's so funny.
So fucking funny.
That's so funny. Look at
why was it always Ryan Gosling though? I just don't get it. Okay.
I think it's because he's like it's like he's the most quintessential white person, you know. My god.
He looks like such a damn Chad. I love him.
Oh, dude. We could talk about the new Naruto coming out.
Okay, yes. So we'll get our thoughts and opinion. I'll get your final thoughts and opinions on White Panther, blackness itself. Yo, dude, they had a Marvel Comics event called Fear Itself. What if they ever do an event called Blackness itself?
Dude, if they do Blackness itself, I'll buy every issue just to have it. I don't even have to read it. I'm just gonna have it.
Framed. Put it in.
Good Lord. That might have been one of the worst articles that we have ever read on this show.
Get it CGC slabbed. A comic called Blackness itself. Holy fuck. Oh god. So yes. What is your final thoughts and opinions on White?
Dude, I mean, like, there's nothing else to say. There's nothing.
Who covered every It's true, yeah.
There's nothing else to say.
I'll give you this, Marvel. You get a fist bump for doing it. Hey, you gave me a good laugh. Congrats. So the best thing you've did in a long time.
They just proved basically why it's not good to do race swaps.
They also prove that they only virtue signal. They do not care
100%.
about you guys' opinion.
They do not care about you at all.
Like,
not at all.
If that wasn't proven years ago, that's sure proven now for these comic readers. But you didn't like this change because you're racist. Do you like the white Black Panther? No. Do you hate white people?
There you go.
Good Lord. So, yeah, for me, thank you, Marvel. Thank you for this moment. I feel so vindicated. Right now, if I transformed into Goku or Vegeta and I went Super Saiyan, my whole house would come down. Because I feel so alive right now. If I went Ultra Instinct right now, I would be on cloud 9. If I literally had Ana de Armas show up at my house and she willingly wanted to have sex with me, my dick would be dry for like 3 years, actually. So, yeah. Thank you, Marvel. Thank you so much.
We covered everything.
Thank you, Marvel, so much for proving all you guys do is virtue signal and you guys don't give a fuck. Thank you.
Yep. 100%.
I could backflip right now and turn into a fucking Super Saiyan. My whole
Dude,
body would explode.
they just proved everything we've been saying for so long.
DC, just please make Static Shock white. Please. Come on. You could do it. DC, you need the controversy. But to be fair, that black, I don't know what was worse. Him getting his powers at a Black Lives Matter rally or this. These are damn. So, yep. Thank you guys for checking out this video. If you guys are returning viewers or new viewers, then please consider subscribing to the channel if you have not already. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it and comment down below. Also, make sure you guys hit the notification bell. That way you guys can get notified on whenever I upload a brand new video. I am MSK, aka Master Swag King, and we're going to sign out, guys. See you guys later. Goodbye. Peace.
Good Lord.
Good Lord, Marvel.
That's just so bad.
I saw the picture. I was like, how's that even logically sound? It's like when Mystique got married and she had a kid.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, what? And keep in mind, people are like, married and had a kid. Yeah. Well, man, no. She got married to a woman and had a kid. The woman had the kid. They like scissored. Remember that one?
They
Earlier
seem scissored.
Yeah. Mystique married a chick and scissored her, and that's how they had a baby.
They had a baby.
I don't know. Marvel says if they do it in Secret Wars, I could see them doing it in the next Deadpool movie. If they do it in Secret Wars,
that would be awesome.
That would be fucking amazing. Make Ryan Gosling a part of some universes like Illuminati.
Yeah, dude.
It's peak at that point. God,
that would be
thank
crazy.
You. Oh Lord. But yes, I know you're hurting. You gotta go. You gotta get some rest. But is there anything else you wanted to cover before you leave? Are you gonna you're hurt too bad, so you're not gonna do any videos or streams, right?
No, I am gonna. I do have something that will be done here shortly.
Okay, but yeah, we are wishing a
Naruto.
Speedy recovery.
I was wondering what your thoughts were.
New Naruto, what happened?
Nothing. There's supposed to be like a 4-episode thing happening.
The only thing I saw recently was someone tried to do their own animated version.
No, this is Studio Pierrot.
Oh, okay, no, I've been
4 episodes, and it's it was supposed to come out in March, and then it got pushed back.
Oh, you're right.
It's still supposed to be, and it's like a limited series.
Naruto
it's
new
like
4 episodes. Yeah,
Naruto,
it's
like
everything we know so far. No, I'll have to get some more knowledge on it because I literally do not know, honestly.
So I think it's supposed to tie in how he got his powers, like in Boruto, like late in Boruto, from that to.
Oh, they're gonna use that different animation style.
No, it's Studio Pierrot, so it's gonna be the people that did
the original.
And
okay, that's good.
Yep.
Because it said early 2025. Now apparently
it's not pushed back. I think it's gonna be like the end of the year, or beginning of
Damn.
next year. So
Boruto has to not be doing so well for them to be pulling this kind of gimmick. Honestly, has to be.
Well, I mean, I think Boruto's over, isn't it?
I checked out a Boruto when they started doing like time travel bullshit. I was like,
oh, dude, that's actually so you've never seen Naruto in the red cloak?
So the last thing of Naruto that I saw was when he had his burying mode against one of the Otsutsuki. Around that period, I kind of just was
go watch the last fight. Dude,
okay,
it's fucking crazy. I don't like the story, but the animation and the fight is phenomenal.
Minato has a manga too. Minato's what the hell?
There's a whole bunch of stuff that's not Kishimoto, so I mean, does it really matter?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Because I mean, every time we've seen anything that's not Kishimoto, it's like it's exactly what the fans think it's going to be. You know?
Yeah, I forgot.
That's never good.
Kishimoto doesn't write Boruto. It's someone else, I'm pretty sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
He did that one little, like, I think it was 2 issues of a actual color, like it was actually colorized.
Yeah, you were right. It's being he's supervising it, but then again,
they probably paid to have his name on there. That's probably exactly.
If people don't know how these executive producer credits work, literally Scarlett Johansson just today asked them if they could take her name off the end credits for Thunderbolts because she didn't produce anything. She wasn't even there. They literally give you executive producer's credit for like having a call with the director. Like all those Snyder bros that were like, I'm an executive producer on the Snyder Cut. No, you're not.
Yeah, I know, right?
being an executive producer means not, or like or associated producer. That doesn't mean
Well,
anything.
dude, it's just like whenever someone does like a campaign, there's nothing wrong with this. I'm just using it as an example. Nothing wrong with this.
Mhm.
They're like, oh, you donate this much and your name will be up there as a producer.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Don't take that the wrong, but we're saying like they didn't really have anything to do with the making of movie or TV show or something. But yeah, I honestly hope what they do is they just play all 4 episodes as one long thing. That would be cool. But if they're gonna do like a new generation thing,
please no.
It would have to be. It would have to be about the main 12 characters. It couldn't be about anything else. You know, and if they're gonna do something stupid like bring Jiraiya back or something's dumb, then I'm all out. I don't care. I don't want to see it.
Yeah, because I remember Kishimoto specifically stated, because like we're not the the whole reanimate, not reanimate.
Well, that's why Pain didn't get, you know.
Yeah, Kishimoto specifically stated there's reasons why Jiraiya didn't come back in the whole reanimation jutsu 4th Ninja War. I was like, why isn't the reason why I want him to come back, because I wanted him to see Naruto like all grown up and getting into that man figure.
Right. Now, here's the thing though. If that is one thing that did happen in the time travel episodes, do you remember?
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Jiraiya knew that it was he knew that was that Sasuke was out of place. Like he knew, like he was like, okay. So who knows, man? Like that
you know what's crazy? I actually, speaking of Naruto, as you brought it up, I was just, editing some videos, and I just typed in Sasuke versus Itachi in Shippuden. And I remember the reason why that'll always be my favorite fight, despite it not being the most flashiest and biggest one, that was the first time. Ever since that fight, the whole narrative of the entire anime changed. Because Sasuke had been talking about trying to kill that guy ever since the series started, and we finally got that fight. And then it's revealed that Itachi's not a bad guy. He's actually a pretty good guy. He was always sick. He really did love his brother. So much stuff got unveiled after that fight. If that's not anyone's top 10, just from narrative point alone, oh my God. And the actual fight was good. When we actually got it, was actually really good.
Yes, the fight was good. I think that is, yes, 100%. I think the narrative changed. But I think for me, it was whenever they took those episodes off and he fought Deidara, however you want to say his name.
Yeah.
Because if you remember, we hadn't seen him for like 4 years.
Yeah. And he was very powerful. Sasuke went from basically barely being able to fight the Sound Ninja 4 randomly to being able to take out Kage level ninja. Like Sasuke was stronger than Orochimaru, who fought Naruto in his 4 tails form.
Now granted, he was
sick, beat up.
But after, because
he beat Orochimaru and Deidara, because people that are Akatsuki members have to be able to take out Kage.
Yeah, and he thought he beat Killer Bee. I thought that fight was fantastic.
Very fun fight. Yeah.
I mean, Killer Bee just was kicking the shit out of him, just beating the fuck out of him.
Keep in mind, Sasuke would have to have been Kage level because Toby thought, hey, this guy's very strong. You could go and get me Killer Bee. No, because Jinchuriki are also very, very strong too. Like Sasuke got one of the most biggest power amps ever. He went from getting to like beating Kage. That's insane. That is actually
the 5 Kage summit. I mean, they were all like he escaped, like he was it. I mean, now granted, he
was going blind a little bit.
Yeah. So I mean, but I mean, I don't know. If you just take out the filler, except for the one filler arc that had the Kabuto filler arc, those 5 episodes.
Oh, okay.
Where that was phenomenal.
I like the added extra filler when it came to Shisui and Itachi's backstory. I feel like that fleshed
stuff,
out
that background stuff, that's good.
Yeah.
See, I know it's a filler because it wasn't in the actual comic or manga, but I don't look at that as filler because it actually progressed the story.
Yeah. It's crazy that Itachi was never at full power, and you see what happened to him. Like he had to go and take medicine constantly. He had to go search it. Oh my goodness, what a tragic character. Do you think that was the right route for his character, or do you think like they should have kept him this evil, ominous figure?
No, it made sense for what they were doing. I just didn't like that he thought the only way out I thought that they ruined the third Hokage by saying
Everyone's thrown Hokage a lot. Yeah.
the only way out was to kill all of them.
Yeah, because my big thing is because in the anime, like you said, it was expanded upon. Like Sasuke's grandmother and aunt, or I think it was his aunt or his grandmother. Why kill her? What did she do?
Why kill the other little kids? Like,
yeah, what did they? Because if the logic is Sasuke is my brother, I want to make sure he's alive.
Yeah,
wouldn't that logic apply to all the other little kids? Don't know what's going on,
right? And wouldn't you want like and you could persuade the little kids too?
Yeah, like
wouldn't
I get it. His dad was mentally deranged.
Wouldn't you want like an army of freaking Sharingan
how powerful
users?
they were? Yeah. So, like his dad was cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. He was deranged.
Fugaku?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think he
was angry to become the fourth Hokage. He was very much angry about that.
I don't think he was that. I think he was pissed that they got taken out of Konoha and put into their own little
Tobirama. Good.
Their own little
segregated
section.
them away. To be fair, Tobirama wasn't. I know people see it as racism. He was right though. They're deranged. They're literally crazy. He wasn't
I think it was more that through the first war, he wasn't like his brother. You know what I mean? His brother was so strong that he could be able to try to be friends with them.
Yeah.
But look at all the people that Tobirama killed.
And from his time period, I could understand why he thinks that way. Because growing up, how they grew up around them, like it's people don't understand. Depending on when someone is born and the time period they grew up in, that's going to influence how they think about the future. He grew up nothing. Him and his brother only grew up around war and killing them. Of course, he would think they're bad people. So why would he?
That's all they knew.
On him? Yeah,
that's all they knew from they were little kids. That was the whole scene with them meeting up at the creek.
I remember that.
The whole reason for that whole thing. As soon as they realized who each other were, they were like, all right, this is the only time we're going to walk away from this. Every other time, it doesn't matter.
Yep.
So, I mean, that's like Konoha was built on the foundation of someone wanting to do right while someone wanted to do underhandedness. And that is why they would have never made Madara the Hokage, even though that's what he wanted. They never
just couldn't trust him. I mean, I understand Hashirama's point, like people, but he killed his best friend. His best friend literally tried to kill and genocide people. No, you have to take him out. That's just he tried. He gave him many chances. He gave him so many.
And I think it's like the whole, if you remember that whole like tome underneath Sasuke's house.
Yeah.
That was the whole thing, was unlocking the eternal. And
and keep in mind, he didn't really kill Madara. He used Izanagi and he survived, but I get the optics that he did technically kill his friend, but like, what else was he supposed to do? If you lose, Madara left alive would have attempted to cause more wars. Madara is insane, guys. He's actually a genocidal maniac because he got to a point where he was like, because that's what he wanted to make the eternal, fucking infinite Tsukiyomi. He wants to have people under one line of thinking because he thought people were just too bloodthirsty, that humans were blah 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 blah. The usual villain mumbo jumbo.
Well, yeah, it was more like they would have stood up against him like they were.
Yeah,
he's not a Hashirama where you can get behind his way of
his
thinking.
ideal. Yeah. So, yeah, it's great having you back, man. Go and get some rest. Hopefully, we'll see your videos come up. Yeah, and that stream with Miss Sparkles, everyone's looking forward to seeing it. God,
I got my slime.
But yes, we will be doing Naruto reviews here. I have the single issues. I have the single issues. Do you have the 3-in-1s or do you have the regular volumes?
See, I think what we should do is we should do a couple of chapters of the manga and then do the episodes that those were in.
That's fine. Yeah,
that would be fun to like.
I love
compare.
Naruto so much. I have the single volumes and I have the actual 3-in-1s that I'm currently trying to buy. I'm all the way up to like I'm on volume 3. But I'm going to get all of them in 3-in-1 because that's just looks so great on a shelf. WZ's here. Cyfax, this is Laps. WZ. I know they're both white. They don't look the same. Okay? But yes.
I'm also,
Are you a White Panther?
My real name is Ketama. And
WZ confused Laps for Cyfax. No. They do not look the same, WZ. Not even close.
Both are white.
They literally don't look the same. You guys are insane people. You're literally just the L's are contagious. There's no way he looked at the screen and went, "That's Cyfax." That's not close to true. So yeah, thank you guys for checking out this episode of the MSK Show, and we'll see you guys.